Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another author interview. Today we've got Nicole Scheffler, and she is the tech diva, and she is going to share a bit about who she is. And Nicole, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a bit about your background, your adventures in writing this book, and this is now your second book that you've been in with me. And yeah, tell us about you.
Thanks so much, Kathy. Always happy to talk to you and to talk about the book series. This will be my fifth book and second, like you said, with you. So I'm excited to be sharing somewhat of a legacy with the world. You know, when we put things out in the book format, it allows it to live beyond our years, which allows me to help my mission. My mission is to spark success for women by leading and serving. And I do that by leading as a cybersecurity leader. And I've had a very fruitful career as an engineer and strategic engineer and architect at some of the major tech firms, Cisco, VMware, Palo Alto Networks, where I'm at today. So that's something I'm really good at and I love doing. And that's the leadership piece. So I have that in action. And then I love serving women. And I serve women with the Tech Diva Success Collection. So I have an empowerment as a service platform where women can tap in, get what they need when they need it. And we put community around that, as well as different, all the books that I offer, all the talks and the goal setting course. And I'm a certified success coach. So I really also love connecting women to coaches, whether it's people like you that can help get their mission and voice to the world, which I appreciate you letting me do through this book. Many women want to do that. So I think whether it's that or coming up with their next career move or really detailing out certain aspects of their career, I love connecting people to coaches that do that full time, since I'm obviously doing a lot of things and just really love helping women create success on their terms to live a life of fulfillment and happiness and purpose by igniting their inner diva. And I'll say that Diva stands for divinely inspired vision and action. So those are four components that I think can help anyone. So that's kind of like my mission, is to be out there and to help empower women and empower myself through the process. A lot of what I teach are things that I'm using for myself. I am by no means perfect or lack challenges. So it was just a way that I can like help myself and help the world, if that makes sense.
I love that. We have a lot of overlap in kind of our mission and how we're serving the world and supporting women. So I love that. And the book that we're focusing on today is called Grit and Tenacity: Women Transforming Leadership in Business and Community. And so tell me a bit about your chapter. Do you remember the title of your chapter and what the core message is?
Yes, of course. I talk about igniting your inner diva, of course, referring to the acronym that I just talked to. But I don't start there because I think that there's value in storytelling, as we all know. And I share a little bit about my story of, the grit and tenacity it takes for situations, right? So I share a little personal situation there on the pandemic and some things that happened to me, but it really, my story, you could read about it. I encourage you to grab the book, obviously. But the point is that we all have things that we go through. That's life, right? And how can we ignite our inner diva to be able to overcome challenges and take advantages of success? The intersection of opportunity and preparedness being success, right? So it's not just to overcome things that are hard, but to take what you deserve, get what you deserve, rise to the level of excellence that we all have with our gifts. And so not only do I share my own story, and you can hear a little bit about that, and I think it may resonate with some other people. I think it's surprising to me in my journey as a woman of understanding challenges that different women face in different phases of their life, right? When I was young, I didn't realize how many women do struggle with infertility, pregnancy issues, loss of children, until I started to become of the age where my friends started dealing with that. And I dealt with different things like that, right? And so that was the first era of that. And then as I became more in corporate, I started to see the challenges that women who take maternity leave have, of protecting their job, of making sure that they can come back and pick back up. Like, how do they go and leave for, their maternity leave and make sure they come back and balance the comeback process, which can deal with breastfeeding. And like, there's a lot to unpack there with powerful women in leadership taking maternity leave and coming back. So I share a little bit of my journey to inspire all leaders to make sure they're considering women on maternity leave when organizations are making change. Unfortunately for me, I was caught in a riff while I was on maternity leave and let go while on maternity leave. That I speak about more in the book, but I think that I want to talk about it here because it's important that we as leaders, we as corporate citizens are doing the right thing for anyone who is on disability leave, maternity leave, because oftentimes we're just so focused on who's going to do what in the organization. And when we have a woman or someone with another disability, anyone, a man, a woman, anyone dealing with that, who may be off of the radar for the moment, that we don't discount them, that we put them in the bigger plan and we give them opportunities. So I want to be an advocate for continuing to represent for leadership, that we take those changes into consideration for corporate culture, in addition to obviously empowering women. And then the second half, besides my storytelling, is really, how do you get through these things? So I do share my story, as I said, but I really share how I feel like I rise in times of hardship and in times of opportunity. And that's through the 4 things that I talked about. Your divine gifts. I believe we have God or universal given gifts, or just things that make us who we are, right? Our special talent. I love to empower and connect. That's what I love to do. And I know you do that as well, Kathy, and that's why I love working with you. But I guess the question is, what is your divine gift? You know, and I ask that to anyone watching this, because you should hopefully know that. And if not, that's what I want to help women do, is to figure out there is something special. I asked hundreds of women over the last few months. I've been at conferences and I've been carrying around this little card that says, what is your divine gift? I'll grab it right here. I happen to have one handy. And it says, my divine gift and superpower is, and then I have a little manifestation quote. And it's interesting because some say, I love to help women get in shape. That's not a divine gift. That's what you do. How you do it is what matters. So I think by starting by honoring these and filling this in, and then I would hand it out. It was a catchy way too to put my business card out there. So always be networking. That's another one. But, you know, honoring your divine gift is the first. Inspiration. You know, we're in a social media era where we have so many things coming at us, right? Are you being inspired by those things? Are you taking in content that inspires you or expires you? Like, it makes you sad or worried, and, you know, knowing that we need to seek the inspiration in this world. And that's what this book is full of, women of inspiration, but also realize that you are the inspiration. Just as much as we need to put good inspiration in our lives, we need to realize that we are the inspiration. You know, if you have a house, you're an inspiration to homeless. You know, if like, there's just being you is an inspiration. And I think we underplay that. And then the last 2 components are vision and action. So I think visioning is really important. I consider myself a healer or empath. There's not a great society word for that these days, but I love doing guided meditations. And I believe that when we arrive with our mind arrives before we do. So I've been a student of Jack Canfield. He was in The Secret. I do believe in the power of manifestation. We have vision boards. I like to call them action boards because there are things you're going to take action on, but, you know, really visioning your best life from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, and thinking, what would that be? Where do I wake up? Who's with me in the bed? What is my day like? What am I doing in my day? Who am I interacting with? You know, what kind of food am I putting in my body? Like, looking at the whole thing is really important. Visioning where we want to go, because we have to have like that GPS programmed, right? Like, if you sit in your car and there's no GPS, where are you going to go? And then the last spot, just taking action, right? I think that's pretty self-explanatory, to take action on those things. So if you really go through that system, I feel like we can ignite ourselves to overcome and to create success in our lives. And I do look at it in the book as a system. So your body is kind of like the hardware. I am the tech diva, so I have to put some analogy in there of that as I live it every day. And then your mind is the software. So you can look at how you can upgrade your body and your hardware just as much as you can upgrade your software and your mind, and making sure you're balanced in that to promote self-care, taking care of our bodies as well, instead of just running software programming. So that's kind of the gist of it. I know that was a long, short answer, but it's a joy to share my mission and, love with the world.
No, you definitely cover a lot of great information in your chapter, and I know that everyone who reads it will get a lot of value from it. So thank you for that. And of course, with this book being really focused on women transforming leadership, what's your perspective on how women are transforming leadership in business and community?
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to leadership, women coming into STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and math, any women that come into the field and stay there are making an impact. We have a mission to both attract and retain. And so women that are in this field can create culture. I actually had another book where I did a study of women in leadership, and it came with like 3 big things. One, profitability. When you have more women in different higher levels of leadership, companies do show more profitability. 2, culture creation and retention. So I think it's important to have diverse people that reflect your customers so that you get more traction, but also create culture within companies, more diversity. And then the third, and my favorite, is actually innovation. Having more women leadership in the area, especially of technology and these STEM fields, adds a perspective that unlocks even more innovation. So I think it's important that in order for women to thrive in leadership, they should start by ensuring their own self-care, their own, management of their hardware and software, and set success up on their terms. And then in addition, when women leaders and men identify their natural gifts, like we said, I think we can make a big difference. So I think getting more leaders, women leaders in the field of STEM and in community, I just have to say that my community angle has been that, like, there's no gates in community. Like, as far as getting involved, I learned so many of my leadership lessons early on by being engaged in local boards, organizations, things that meant a lot to me. And then I could serve that. So I just encourage anyone watching this that community is absolutely where you could start with leadership, because they will take it. There is an organization that needs your skills and passion, and you can always start there. And I was really lucky early on to be involved with Alpha Phi Omega, which is a community service organization. So I think when you serve, everything you do, you get back twofold. And I've been very fortunate that the blessings in my life, so grateful for them. But I also recognize that I've been there to help the world be a better place. And so I feel like somewhat blessed, because I do believe that what you get and every hour you put in or every motion that you put in the world comes back to you twofold. So I think those are things about leadership and community that are important to me.
I love that. And as we've heard, you have a lot going on, a lot of different focuses. So if someone's interested in connecting with you or learning more about these different projects, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
Yeah, thanks, Kathy. It's Tech Diva Success everywhere. So that's TECH, Diva, DIVA, Success. And you could spell it. I know you can have success in spelling that, but Tech Diva Success on all socials and on my website, techdivasuccess.com. So that's where you can see all the latest and greatest. You'll see more about our book and our launch. And I'm just really excited to be a part of this. There's a lot of great women. And thank you, Kathy, for the opportunity, and for all the women that I'm so grateful to be side by side with, forging new relationships. And just know that this isn't just a book. It's a statement of the impact that this group of authors is making on the world. And that is a legacy that I'm proud to leave for my 2 daughters and for everyone on the journey as a woman in STEM careers.
Thank you. And yes, we are excited about the launch on December 17th of Grit and Tenacity, Women Transforming Leadership in Business and Community. So we hope everybody can join us on our launch day, and everybody grabs a copy of the book and of course pass it on and let other people know about it. And we are excited to spread it around the world. So
Yes, let's
thank you for
go. Let's
being here
go.
today, Nicole. And here's to more
Yeah.
success and more getting that message out there.
Yes. Thank you so much, Kathy.